Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, creator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world, and today I'm here to tell you what to do in Playa del Carmen. What are the main tours, sites, beaches, shopping, and everything you need to know to do on your trip. So it's going to be very quick tips, useful, and with no winding up. Enjoy the video, guys. Helps us a lot if you give us a like and subscribe to the channel. So don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel down here, and that's it, guys. Buckle up. Well, Playa del Carmen is a destination that's being much sought after by people from all over the world. Tulum, Cancun, Playa del Carmen are the most popular destinations in the famous Riviera Maya, which is located in the Yucatan Peninsula. It's a very touristy and very cool region of Mexico, so the tours and tips of what to do in one of these destinations ends up being almost the same, both for those going to Cancun, Tulum, and Playa del Carmen, but we will focus here on who is traveling to Playa del Carmen in specific. Starting to talk about the tours and things to do in Playa del Carmen, if you don't know yet, there's an avenue that's the main avenue there called Quinta Avenida, 5th Avenue. It's a very nice avenue that's close to cars. It ends up having only people walking around, and it's where all the restaurants, shops, bars, nightclubs, the main attractions, and entertainment of the city are located. So you will spend a lot of time there. It's a very pleasant region to walk around in the late afternoon. In the afternoon, we don't recommend it because it's very hot. It's very hot and sunny, and people end up not being able to see everything. So focus on the days of the afternoon to go on the tours, beaches, enjoy these attractions, and then in the late afternoon, but at night, you go and walk along this avenue that's very cool, very pleasant, and there are many options of things to see there. A lot of things to enjoy and to see. Well, for those who like to shop, what to do in the list usually has to have the item shopping. The coolest place to shop because there are a lot of cool stores there, not like in Cancun, those big gigantic malls with more than 190 stores, but there are some very nice malls with about 30 stores each, and there are also the street stores that are on 5th Avenue, the Quinta Avenida. So there is H&M, there is Zara, there is Lacoste, Diesel, Tommy, Gap, Nike, all these stores that we look for. So walk around there and you will find a lot of nice things. There are several smaller malls, but they are also very nice. We like two of them, Quina Alegria and Paseo del Carmen. I don't know if it's pronounced that way. Take a look to see which one has the stores you like the most, or go to both because it's a quick walk in general. So there's a lot of cool stuff to buy in Playa del Carmen. You just need to know what to look. Now, talking about the beaches, whoever goes to Mexico, whoever goes to this part of the Caribbean wants to get to know the beaches, of course. A tip we give you, try to stay in a resort hotel that's on the beach, which is obviously much nicer. You can also enjoy the beach there, which is very beautiful, so check it out. It's a little more expensive, but it's well worth it. And also, if you don't stay in a resort, Playa del Carmen is nice because it has a lot of beach clubs, so you can stay in a hotel that ends up being a lot cheaper, a little bit further up the beach, about 5 or 6 blocks away, and the price already drops to less than a half. It's a lot of difference. And during the day, you go to one of these beach clubs. Some charge an entrance fee, others are all you can eat, and then you spend the day there enjoying, eating, enjoying the beach. There are chairs, cabins, tents. You can enjoy yourself, but the beaches there are very beautiful. The one near 5th Avenue, which is probably where you'll be staying, is very beautiful. There are some a little bit further away if you want to go deeper to the beaches there, but it's very good. There are a lot of nice beaches there. Even though you don't get a resort hotel, it's very worthwhile. We made a video where to stay, which explains exactly where to stay in Playa del Carmen, but just to summarize it for you, it's in this area over there on 5th Avenue, which is a very good area and close to the beach. I'll leave below in the description of the video a personalized map that we created, which is the largest hotel search engine in the world. Of course, you know it. It's where we make our reservations because it has the best prices, everything. So I'm going to leave this map here below that you're saying we elected this region. It's the best location in Playa del Carmen. If you stay within it, there's no mistake. So use this little map, close it when it opens, enter the date of your trip, search and open again. It will open with the prices, with the best hotels. We have already put some filters in the search, so there's no error. Any hotel you get there is fine. So try to stay in this region because you will be close to all the tours and things you're talking about and you end up doing there. So it makes it much easier to get around time. You will be really close to everything. The nice thing about Playa del Carmen is that the places are very close to each other, so everything is really close. You get close to everything you want to do. Guys, any travel question you may have, any question at all, you can send it to us because we really like to help. If you want it even easier, send me on Instagram, add me at @Lorenzi, send me a direct message and I will answer you. I will help you without any problem. And take the time to follow us too, because we are always traveling the world, trying to show travel tips in a very nice way in the routine with our little ones, which are a blast. And we are now leaving Orlando. Our studio here, it's already in our house in Orlando, so we're showing how life is here in the United States, the Disney parks, the shopping, the prices of things. We're showing everything here and the content is very nice. And in the description of the video, I'll leave the link to 2 hotels that we stayed at that we highly recommend. Everyone always asks. One is a little bit closer to the beach, it's by the sea. It's a beautiful all-inclusive resort. It's sensational. The service is excellent. It's very good. And another one is very good too, but it's much cheaper. It's a little bit above 5th Avenue, about 4 blocks from the beach. It's much cheaper and it has parking. Because the hotels are on 5th Avenue down there close to the beach, they don't have parking and no cars can go there because of the closed 5th Avenue. So if you're going to rent a car, stay a little bit up there, which is 2 blocks from 5th Avenue. This hotel is very good. It's very cheap for those who want to rent a car and focus more on sightseeing. It ends up being a great option for you. Both the hotels are amazing. You just see which one you prefer. And now we're going to talk about the tours that are a little bit further away from downtown. So just for you to understand these tours that we'll mention here, there are 2 ways to do them. One is to rent a car and do it by yourself, and the other is with an agency. We will quickly explain. The car is worth a lot on these trips to Playa del Carmen, TULUM, and CANCUN. Why? Because car rental in Mexico is very cheap. It's one of the cheapest in the world. So you arrive at CANCUN airport, that's where you get off, and you have to go to Playa del Carmen, which is about 50 minutes away. If you take a cab or a transfer, the amount of money that you will pay for a cab to go to the hotels and then to come back is almost the same as the price of renting a car. So even if you don't use the car, you just rent it and leave it at the hotel every day and come back, it's practically worth it. So many people rent. It's very easy, it's very simple to drive in Mexico. For those who are used to heavy traffic, it's very easy and you only need your country's driving permits. You already rented, you get it, it's super easy to rent, so people do that. And besides the fact that you already have this transportation to go to the hotel and back, you end up being able to do several other tours, go to CANCUN, in the malls that are much bigger, go on the tours to Chichen Itza. People do other tours all over the Riviera Maya region, so it ends up being very worth it. So take a look and see which hotels have parking or not. To those that are on the beach or 5th Avenue don't have any, then you can try to arrange your trip properly according to your necessities. But in general, renting a car, it's very worth it because it's super cheap and it ends up being very good. And the other option is with an agency. There are many agencies there that do tours. Most of them are locals. There's a very good one that we highly recommend. It's an excellent and successful agency. They are a reference. They are very good and do all the tours and have an incredible service. I'll leave here the link below in the description. You click on the link and leave your phone number. They get in touch very quickly through WhatsApp and give you a complete assistance. They tell you which are the tours, the prices, how to set up your itinerary. They give you all the information there, and if you close the tours with them, they also give you the transfer. Many times they do that from the airport to the hotel and vice versa. They are really great, so it's very worthwhile. It depends on style. There are people who like to go by car and do it by themselves to save money, and there are people who like to pay a little bit more and do it with these agencies that are very worthwhile. So you can see exactly what your style is, but any of the options will be good and you end up having a very good trip. And now talking about the tours, I'll start with the first one, which is the farthest, but in our opinion is the main one, which is Chichen Itza. It's one of the biggest archaeological sites in the world and one of the most important in Mexico. If you ask me, it's the most important and it's the most famous because it's considered one of the 7 wonders of the world. So you can't miss it. From the pictures and videos, you probably have seen it somewhere, you recognize it because it's an important place and it's a very cool archaeological site. It has all the Mayan ruins preserved. They explain the history of the place. It's very worthwhile. It's about 2.5 hours away from Playa del Carmen. It's much closer than Cancun, which is about an hour away from Cancun, so it's relatively close. You can go there by car and buy the ticket, or this is our tip, you can do it with an agency. Do it with an agency. We did it. It was very worthwhile. Why? Because it's a little bit far away. You go in a van, on a bus, resting. The agency tour is very nice because it has a stop in 2 cenotes, which are also 2 great options of tours. It's very nice. It's a water reserve that's easier to understand by the video and photos, but they are water reserves that were naturally formed inside holes, inside rocks, inside caves, and they have small openings. They are very different from each other, so it's very cool and it forms a beautiful scenario. People go there, dive. The water is cold. Take a towel, a change of clothes, and because you end up going in, diving, the water is very cold because there's no sun practically, but go there because it's really cool. And with the agency, they already stop right there. They already have all the structure. They already know the coolest ones. They stop in 2 that are very cool, so the trip takes a little longer, about 4 hours in total because of these stops. And then you arrive in Chichen Itza and there's a guide who explains you everything, how it works, the history, the customs. The history is incredible. We really like it having this guided tour because it gave us a much better view than if we had gone on our own. It's better to have a guide to explain you all the history and understand all the things. And another very famous tour that's more or less in the same vein as Chichen Itza, which is also an archaeological site, a Mayan ruin. It's one of the 4 most famous in Mexico. It's the Tulum ruins. They are a little bit closer. They are about 40 minutes from Playa del Carmen. You go down before you get to Tulum, and it's much smaller than Chichen Itza. There's no way to compare. Chichen Itza, it's really more interesting. It has much more history, but it's very nice because it's a little bit cheaper, it's closer, and it has a differential. It's the only archaeological site that is right on the beach. It's by the sea, so the visual and the photos are incredible. The contrast of the ruins with the sea, that blue Caribbean Sea, it's crazy, so it's worth your while to visit too. If you have to choose one, in our opinion, Chichen Itza, it's a must-see. If you can visit both, great. This is one that we need to have a car. It's much easier than going alone and doing it. If you don't have a car, do it with an agency that picks you up at your hotel and takes you there. It's very easy, but it's a very nice site. You're gonna love it. But Chichen Itza in general, it's better, but in our opinion, it's worthwhile to visit both of them. It's amazing. Now let's talk about 2 islands. There are 2 very famous islands in the area. There is Cozumel Island, which is much closer and is much nicer for those who like to dive. It has been voted one of the best islands and places to dive in the world for several years in a row. If you like to go scuba diving to see the bottom of the sea, the corals, the reefs, it's very worthwhile. And there is another island that we really like, it called Isla Mujeres. Actually, it's very close to Cancun. You have to go to Cancun. It's about 40-50 minutes, but it's a very nice island. It has a beach. You can stop there, have lunch. The boat ride there is also very nice, so it's worth doing this tour. The agency is nice because their boat is super reliable, a super nice, stable, brand new boat, so it was a very nice tour. Lunch is included on the island, and who wants to swim with the dolphins, there's the option in Isla Mujeres, and there's another option that I don't remember what it was, but if you have the dream of meeting the dolphins, this agency, they also have this tour. Check it out, it's worth it. And to close the list, because there are a lot of things to do and there have to be days left over to rest at the hotel, have something to eat, rest a little on the beach, etc. But there are 2 other very nice places, the parks. There are several, but the most famous ones are the Xcaret and the Xel-Há. I don't know if it's pronounced that way. They are similar, but the Xcaret is much bigger, and in our opinion, it's the coolest one to go, and it's closer. It's located in Playa del Carmen, next to the tourist area where you will be staying. It's a huge complex with hotels, parks. It's a huge complex. It's a natural park that preserves several forms of marine and terrestrial life, different species, so it's very cool. You dive, you have everything included. The price at first seems a little expensive. At the time we paid $160 to spend the day, but it's included lunch, the snorkel rental, goggles rental, all the diving accessories, the locker for you to keep your things there. There are several items that are included during the day, so it's a very cool experience that's worth it. The Xel-Há is very similar. It's a little bit smaller and it's close to Tulum. We recommend it more for those who are staying in Tulum, but you can go to both because it's a spectacular place and it's worth it. you can go on your own or you can go to an agency. We ended up buying with an agency because it was much easier and it was a little bit cheaper than if we had bought on site. They already have the contacts, they are very good, so we opted not to worry about that. So take a look, but it's a tour that's right next to Playa del Carmen, so it's very good for you to visit because you're going to be close to that anyway. And down here in the description of the video, I'll leave all these links that I mentioned and other links that we use to organize our trip, which are the places that always have the best prices for everything. So use these videos, use the links that you will get. It's a step-by-step guide on how to set up your trip practically. I will also leave the link of the travel chip that we use, which is a very good chip for you to use the cell phone abroad. The best option is to buy a prepaid international chip. You buy it with a data package and you can use their cell phone easily. It's a very good company that delivers the chip, and also now that has the electronic chip, the eSIM, where you enter the site, you will see if your cell phone is already compatible technology, which today are only the newest, but in the future all will be. And if not, there's no problem. Then you go down a little bit and buy the normal plan, which is the plastic chip they give you without any problem. There's a travel insurance comparator and the international travel insurance. That's very important too. Don't travel abroad without it. This comparator compares all the insurance companies in the world. He finds incredible prices. You get a great insurance in one of the best insurance companies for about 7 days of travel for about $20. It's very good compared to all the coverage that it offers and all the losses that you can have. A hospitalization abroad is a fortune. Lost luggage, they cover everything, so be sure to do it. It's very important and it's very quick and easy. And I'll leave here all the other links organized, the place where we buy the exchange, the Mexican pesos to be able to travel, and the dollar for there. So anyway, this is a summary of everything. If you have any questions, of course, just let us know and we'll be glad to help you. As always, just send a direct message and we'll help. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, please give us a like on the video and subscribe to the channel because it helps us a lot. And be sure to watch the other videos that are very good. The best of all is the one about all the tips of Playa del Carmen, that he gives all the tips, everything you need to know, when to go, this season, slow season, weather, shopping. We made a general tip for you to be able to set up your whole trip. I'll leave it here along with that playlist that has all other videos for you to watch and be prepared. So thank you very much, guys. Have nice trips and I will see you next video.